Over to you.
Well, a little R&R is good for just about everybody. In just a couple of days, we'll be wrapping up April and heading into Mental Health Awareness Month. We're talking about May. Well, one local group is not only highlighting the importance of mental health, but also shining a light on women in the community. Female leaders around the community are now stepping up and speaking out. And this afternoon, I'm joined by our friend, Jennifer Moxley. She's the executive director of She Dreams in Color Foundation. Jennifer, it's really good to see you.
Thank you, thank you.
How have you been? You doing well?
Isn't that such a loaded question these days?
Well, it is, right? We always say, are you doing well? And we just answer affirmatively, yes.
Yeah, unless you surround yourself with a community of women who you can be honest and open with, who are ready for the answer, who have time and space to give you the opportunity to be what you are.
Okay, talk about tears. That's making me tear up right now. So what is the organization that's doing that?
So She Dreams in Color Foundation is the nonprofit I started out of my own journey and that of with my sister, who's a therapist here in Charlotte. She runs Charlotte Women's Counseling. So I've had free counseling for a very long time. And you know, I just, in my own journey of mental health and seeing the women around me struggle with mental health and what does mental health mean, news stories that talk about it but don't really explain it. I wanted to do something, and in July 2021, I had what they call a triggering event. Someone close to me unexpectedly died, and that opened the floodgates.
Right.
It did. That was the moment that I started therapy intense. It was every week, and I went to therapy for a year and a half because that triggering event opened childhood trauma and abuse. It opened sexual assault abuse. It opened a lot of things I've carried these 45 years that I had never actually talked about or addressed or gotten help with.
Well, and your story is, you know, is not the only one, because there are many women, dozens and dozens, scores and scores of women who are keeping these stories, these secrets within, afraid to share it with a friend, afraid to share it with a therapist. Why is therapy so helpful? I mean, a lot of people think about talking to a friend. That's not always what we need.
Yeah, and even talking with my sister, who is a therapist, is not qualified, certified help as a therapist.
What's the difference?
You really need that person who has the toolkit. You really need that objective person who can look at it from the outside in. And every therapist isn't even a fit.
That's true.
And I did special therapy called EMDR, so different techniques within the therapy models.
Wait, what's that?
So EMDR is eye rapid movement, and it basically, I like to make things simple. It takes a document out of a file folder in your brain computer and moves it into a new file folder so you can process it.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, but what She Dreams in Color does, and the foundation, what it made me realize was I spent $8,000 on therapy, and I just started to touch the surface of my trauma and heal and get to a place of being a whole person in my community. Marginalized women don't have that ability. They don't have that access. And you know, therapists are accepting insurance less and less because it's becoming predatory to that industry. And so we have this gap of access and care. And so the foundation provides funding for marginalized women to receive care.
That's really amazing. You are filling a gap that's much needed in the community. There's still a little bit of stigma associated with therapy. How do we get rid of that?
So the She Dreams in Color interview series is how we talk about it, and even myself sharing, you know, what I've been through in my own experience, and other people just talking about it can make a difference. You know, we hear so much in Charlotte about the Leading on Opportunity study in 2017 that talked about economic mobility. Well, out of that, the Foundation for the Carolinas did an assessment called Navigating the Maze. And what that found is mental health is a barrier to economic mobility, one of the leading barriers.
Wow.
And the two barriers to mental health are stigma and access. And stigma is only pushed aside, you know, bulldozed over when we are open and vulnerable and talk about it, because it's nothing to be scared of.
Right, not at all. You are proof, right? You are proof, Jennifer. I love that you're telling your
Cheryl,
story.
the women around me are the proof, because I'm practicing every day to be as brave as they are. And the women we've interviewed in the interview series on She Dreams in Color are so brave and have done so much work to just be great examples. And so I'm just following their examples.
I do think change happens when you tell your story, when you offer that sense of vulnerability. That's the most brave act you can actually make. You have an event that's coming up.
We do. All this hard work, but we do want to have fun too.
Yes.
So May 21st, a Sunday, we are having the Queen's Tea Party.
Oh, fun.
We wanted to have something relaxed, so we're going to be at the Charlotte Museum of History. We believe in supporting creative women in Charlotte, vendors in Charlotte. So this is created by Daps Designs here in Charlotte, a graphic designer. This
lovely.
is White Island Candles, a vendor here in Charlotte. We're going to have 8 sound healing, live painting, a whole tea party with a vendor in Charlotte. Yes, Darling Tea. So
lovely.
not only are we supporting, the economy here in Charlotte and women-owned businesses, but we want to give attendees a moment to just connect, reset, build community, and our goal is to raise 10,000 hours of therapy for marginalized women in Charlotte.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes. This is wonderful. We putting all of your information on the screen right now, your website, social media as well. Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl.
Such a joy. Kristen?
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Jennifer. That's awesome.